The most common surgery for obesity is gastric bypass. The gastric bypass results in an effective resolution of major illnesses that accompany obesity. Most gastric bypass surgery candidates have already tried more conventional diet and exercise plans with little success. With few options, doctors and patients are increasingly turning to gastric bypass surgery as a lifesaver, and often as a last resort. Laparoscopic gastric bypass surgery is a treatment for obesity. Obesity risks add to complications of gastric bypass. Today, gastric bypass surgery is being marketed and promoted to obese patients as a panacea for obesity. According to the report, gastric bypass is now established as an effective and safe therapy for morbid obesity and its associated health problems. Research investigators followed 20 women who underwent gastric bypass for treatment of morbid obesity to compare the safety and effectiveness of RNY and MGB in the treatment of morbid obesity. It was found that laparoscopic gastric bypass is simple, effective and safe. Patients who have a BMI over 50 tend to lose about 50% of their excess weight with a gastric bypass. With a gastric bypass, patients with a BMI under 50 seem to lose 70% of their excess weight or more. Undergoing a gastric bypass requires patients to commit to a new lifestyle. The amount of calories and nutrients absorbed by the body are significantly decreased after gastric bypass surgery. People who have gastric bypass operations usually lose 2/3 of their excess weight within 2 years after the operation. It is no miracle that patients of the gastric bypass lose weight rapidly. However, weight reduction surgery known as gastric bypass is merely the first step. After a gastric bypass, it is recommended that you follow a certain diet in order to maintain proper weight balance and nutrient intake. The gastric bypass diet helps you maintain good nutrition while losing weight. People who regain weight after gastric bypass surgery usually are consuming too many high-calorie foods and beverages and do not exercise enough. About 1 in 20 people who have gastric bypasses fail to lose sufficient weight or regain weight, and the operation has to be repeated. Kyle Potts is a general surgeon who specializes in performing RNY gastric bypass surgery for people with severe obesity. He performs laparoscopic obesity surgery since 1994 and is experienced in gastric banding, gastric bypass, intragastric stimulation and intragastric balloon procedures. He specializes in laparoscopic redo surgery, where he converts failed previous obesity surgery to gastric bypass laparoscopically. Before you consider going for such a surgery, it is always wise to read up everything on the subject and subsequently meet your doctor to discuss the possibilities of this surgery.